Hello everybody and welcome to my AEW Dynamite review. A lot of things happened on the show tonight from pretty much the fallout of Full Gear from last Saturday and what was going to happen on tonight's show, because there's a lot to speak on about Dynamite tonight. But before I do get into Dynamite itself, one thing I do want to speak on, I'm sure everyone's kind of been hearing the news about this, and I'd rather give my thoughts on it now. While the time being, I want to speak a little bit on the whole CM Punk showing up on the WWE Backstage show yesterday. Listen, I didn't really hear about it. I don't watch the Backstage show. The only time I've ever really watched it was when Balor was on there, because it kind of intrigued me. But, I never really had any desire to watch it until last night. I saw the video online and someone called me about it, saying, CM Punk's back, CM Punk's back. I'm like, CM Punk's back? And I looked at the video and he was on, FS1 for the WWE Backstage. Now, he would say he was going to be there next week on the show. I don't know if he's a full co-host in that, but then again, listen, this was rumored months ago. He was already auditioning for this show. And people need to remember one thing. Now, don't get me wrong, was I kind of shocked to see it? Yeah, I was excited. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh shit, CM Punk is back. But what I do know is that he is an employee of Fox. He is not an employee of the WWE, pretty much. And a lot of people pointed this out because Fox have been wanting CM Punk to be on this Backstage show, okay? Now, WWE, that's a whole different thing. I don't know who has the final say when it comes to this show or anything. I just know Fox is the one that wanted him on here, okay? Like I said before, I'm assuming he's a full co-host, or he is just on, one-time thing next week, but it was pretty shocking to hear about him on there, okay? Now, I know there's a lot of things people are saying, like, oh, is he going to be back on WWE TV? Is he going to wrestle again? Which, I don't know about that. I think it just depends maybe how Fox long they keep him on there. I don't know, okay? I don't really know. Do I think he'll be on WWE TV at one point in the next year or two? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if he will. I don't know if he won't. I don't know if he'll even wrestle again, to be honest with you. Because some people say, oh, well, he may be in the ring by next year. And, someone brought this up to me. So much as they would love to see CM Punk in the ring, he would just be another guy on the roster then, if that happened. But, like I said before, he's an employee of Fox, not WWE. Now, I know a lot of people are saying right now that CM Punk sell out, and I'm sure, don't get me wrong, money talks, and I'm sure they paid him a lot of money to do this whole show on FS1, but, I don't want to particularly say he sold out technically, but like I said before, he works with Fox. Now, don't get me wrong, the WWE has bullshitted this guy before. We can go in the story all the way back to the shoot interview from years ago of, what they did to him and everything, because I can already see people kind of going like, oh, this guy's a hypocrite, he sold out, he went back over there, he did this, he did that. I don't know what he's going to do on this analyst show. And listen, obviously this was a ploy to get ratings, okay? This was a ratings ploy, because I already heard about the ratings were very low on that show, from under 70,000, 40,000 or something. So he's obviously a way to get ratings from people, because it's like, hey, CM Punk is back, they're interested, they know they're going to tune in next week to see this show, okay? Now, I don't really give a fuck about the whole Backstage thing in general, because I never really watched it, okay? And like I said, other than that one time. Now, will I watch when CM Punk was on there next week? I will probably watch now for this episode, because I'm a little bit intrigued, because I have no desire to watch this show. I really don't, okay? Like, I was watching Impact during the time, so I think I'm watching a better show in general, but I don't know, man. This whole thing is a little, I had mixed feelings about it, okay? I had a lot of mixed feelings about the whole thing, so that's how I really kind of felt about just this whole situation. But he is a good get on there as an analyst. And I know some people say, well, maybe he'll bury the current product. I don't know if he's really been sent there to bury the current product and everything. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know how he's going to analyze it. I like CM Punk's commentary in general. I think he's good at it. It's just, I don't really know what to expect from this, especially this is still a WWE product technically, and they're talking about stuff all related to WWE. But like I said before, He's an employee of Fox, not by the WWE. Okay, so you have to look at the differences between those two things. That's how I would play it out to be. I'm trying to remember what else I was going to say about this though, but that is pretty much how it is going to play out to be. All right, but like I said, he's better on this show now. I know you look at the rest of the co-hosts from Renee Young, Booker T, Paige, I believe Christian. I like Christian too, but I don't know what's really going on in that show. Listen, the only thing I've really ever seen from it was they did some promo battles with athletes, I believe, and like I said, I don't think a lot of people watch the show. I don't know how many people have FS1 to watch this backstage show. I think it's enough wrestling during the week, and let's just add another thing to the show because, like I said, I didn't watch it, and I probably wasn't gonna watch it more but especially when they hire dick sucking, cock sucking motherfuckers like Ryan Satin right there. Of course, that little suck the WWE's dick. I'm sure he sucked a lot of dick to get to that job. I'm sure he did because trust me, a lot of motherfuckers hate that dude. Okay, it's Ryan Satin. He's a fucking retard. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot to say from this whole thing. Now, a lot of people going right now saying that, well, people can go back to the whole what he said about Vince and Triple H, or what he said about the company in general, or just what he said about different people. I know some people say things change, and maybe Punk wants to put this back. I believe he wants to put a lot of this past him, I believe, and go move on with his life and all that. So I know a lot of things were said and stuff, and don't get me wrong, I had heard rumors beforehand about CM Punk was allegedly coming back, and I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but I know someone, my friend sent me an article about Triple H, what he said, that they were open to business with CM Punk if given a chance, and I didn't really take it seriously, to be honest, because come on, I've heard what Punk said about that guy, and honestly, it's just Triple H appeasing to the fucking marks. Of course they're gonna believe what he says and run that story along with it, in my opinion. But like I said, Punk being back, I don't know what to expect. Cause come on, a lot of people thought this guy was going to AEW, and like everybody and their mama think he was doing. Cause almost like every move, every thing he did with Starcast or any interview, and say he was cool with the Bucks and them. But a lot of people kind of assumed he was in AEW, and I know there's a lot of conflicting reports about if he was in it or the contract they gave him or what they did not give him. I'm just kind of going what I've read, and people were going off of that, if he even really signed a contract with AEW or not. Honestly, I didn't know if the guy's ever even going to wrestle again or not. I came to terms if he didn't want to come back. If he doesn't want to come back, he doesn't want to come back. Move on, pretty much. Don't get me wrong, I wanted him to come back after the whole thing happened years ago, and through a number of years I still wanted him to come back, and I think he would have been one of the hottest draws of the business right now, especially when he left and still stayed in wrestling. The UFC thing I'm not gonna go into. That's still kind of a debacle, or the war with Colt Cabana and everything. I'm not gonna get into that and stuff. But I don't know. Did I really ever believe he was gonna go to AEW? Possibly. I'm sure they would have offered him a lot of money. Maybe, I don't know, okay? So I think this is one of these wait and we'll see what goes along with this. But, at the end of the day, I look at he is an employee of Fox. He's not an employee of the WWE, because I don't know how much of the beef is still goes around him with the Vince, Triple H, or whatever the fuck else happened in that company. Come on, you listened to the shoot interview before, okay? And don't get me wrong, he's done sporadic appearances, like pro wrestling tees and everything. But like I said, it's a shocker he showed up on FS1. It's a shocker he showed up on backstage. I don't know what to expect from this. I don't know what's gonna happen. Am I really gonna watch the show? Not really. I'm really not. Maybe next week I will, but after that I don't really give a fuck about this show, because it's just, why is this show needed? I don't know why. But hey, that's Fox for you. They're the ones that want this, so that's gonna be the case, and we'll see what CM Punk goes on from that. But other than that, I just kind of want to give my little thoughts on this whole CM Punk quote unquote coming back to WWE, or just showing up on WWE backstage for the talk show and everything. So we will see what plays out from that. But moving on now into the AEW review itself, Nashville, Tennessee tonight, November 13th. Like I said, they showed a highlight video package of pretty much happening in Full Gear. One thing they wanted to show was the Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley. Of course, they couldn't show a lot of it because it was an unsanctioned match. JR, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur on commentary. They had showed video, which, by the way, John Moxley was coming out because he was in action. Yes, the guy has literally no scars or anything. Looks like he just walked out of nothing pretty much after Unsanctioned. They show a video of Kenny Omega. The guy's got a black eye and scars and welts all over his body, all fucked up. But Mox was able to compete, and he was not. Kenny looked pretty much disappointed when he talked to the doctor and everything. Because, other than, he was pretty, and he said Mox was pretty beat up, but he was clear. But Kenny pretty much, he had all these cuts and all this stuff. The black eye thing, I don't know about the black eye. The black eye kind of looked fake. Like somebody just painted something on his eye to make it have a black eye. But, Kenny was pissed and he walked out the room, and Michael Nakazawa was there. John Moxley didn't win against Michael Nakazawa. Thank God this match was quick. And thank fucking God this guy did not pour baby oil over himself, because I swear to you right now, I would have shitted all over this match, because I'm sick of that baby oil shit and it looks fucking stupid, okay? It looks stupid before and it looks stupid now, but I guess Nakazawa was trying to be serious. Mox ended up winning with a Death Rider for the win. Pretty much getting the microphone right after, talking about a lot of things he wanted to get off his chest, that he's not a liar, and he said what he was going to do at Full Gear, what was advertised, and he delivered. Kenny, he said he would never be the same again, and Mox said Kenny's a radical son of a bitch, and personal things aside, he had respect for him because he had the balls to step in the ring, but now he's on a pilgrimage scorched to earth to every person in AEW right now, that he will be the last man standing, and he offered an open challenge to anybody in the back that, wants to confront their own morality. Let them know. Come on, you want to come down here? You want to face the top of the food chain? Let's go. But he told them to do one thing if they do challenge Mox. Kiss your loved ones goodbye when you leave the house. Call an ambulance, because there's not going to be any type of apologies when all of this is over. And that was his promo. Very good promo by John Moxley out there, trying to see who his next challenger is going to be in this whole thing. Since I don't know if it's going to continue with Omega, which they kind of were playing into, but I'm not sure if that will happen or not. But I guess we will see what comes from that. But great promo by Mox. Next, the Dark Order, which I'm kind of glad they made these creeper motherfuckers wear shirts now. I don't know, that shit was getting too odd. Same with Evil Uno. They end up going against the Jungle Express of Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt. I still like calling him Jungle Jack Perry. I like how JR says it. It makes it sound cooler. But listen, this ain't really the biggest fan. I'm not really the biggest fan of this whole thing. I just think the Dark Order, I don't think they're that good in general, and I know a lot of people are turned off by the Dark Order a lot. I think they kind of be pushing them a little. I like Jungle Boy. Marco Stunt, I'm just not with this shit, okay? And I saw him botch that move when they were during the match. He was kind of going over the top rope, and what Jungle Boy was hanging on to, and he almost slipped. It wasn't particularly a bad match, but I'm sure a lot of people, like I said before, it's really gonna be hard to buy into Marco Stunt's offense, especially when you're taking the Dark Order to task. It's like people said before a couple weeks ago at Pentagon, like, you're going to expect me to believe that Marco Stunt is going to go toe-to-toe with Pentagon Jr.? Get the fuck out of here, okay? But the Dark Order ended up winning with the finisher. Evil Uno had a microphone, which, surprised he didn't have a dark, sinister voice, but he spoke in a very normal, ordinary voice pretty much from here. As he sat on the creeper guys like a throne, he says, give it up for Marco Stunt. He has a lot of promise and everything. Something he's doing that a lot of guys can't do. But he says, we're offering you a position in the Dark Order. He kind of thought about it. Jungle Boy got in the way. Uno says, I respect that. They end up jumping both Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt, but then next thing you know, crowd goes fucking nuts. Then a big, huge pop for Luchasarus, which I swear to God, he was supposed to be hurt even longer. I was surprised to see him back so early, or maybe he wasn't hurt that long. I don't know, but the crowd was going just nuts for this shit when he came out there, beating up the creepers, hitting them with the tail whip, knocking down three in a row, or at the same time, really. Pretty much again, taking out Grayson, hitting him with a kick and a standing moonsault. Pretty much the Luchasaurus got a big reaction because now the Jungle Express is all back together. So I guess they're all tag team again. I don't know how, Luchasaurus was still hurt or not. That's what I heard, but this is now different since he showed up tonight on the show. I don't think anybody expected that, and it was a humongous pop when he came out there, and people were going nuts for it. So with him, I say he brings value to the team. Him and Jungle Boy, I still think Stunt kind of brings it down in a way. But with him being back, it should be better by now at this point. Dark Order, I don't know. Next, Darby Allin, Peter Avalon, Librarians is another thing that needs to go, and Shawn Spears in a triple threat match. Not much to say from here other than Joey Janela doing his weird something like punches on Shawn Spears, which they pretty much brawled since from their match last Saturday at Full Gear. They brawled away. Darby Allin still ended up getting the win over Peter Avalon. Pretty much got into the microphone then, pretty much telling Jon Moxley, I accept the challenge. So pretty much now it's next week's going to be Mox versus Darby. One guy that damn near nearly tries to kill himself in the ring, and the other one that wants to kill you because he's a crazy son of a bitch. So we'll see where that goes, and it's very interesting, so I am looking forward to that. Nyla Rose making her return, going against Danny Jordan, pretty much a squash match. I was whatever. Personally, it was kind of whatever in my opinion. I don't know, man. I'm not going to go into the whole Nyla Rose thing. I'm thinking Nyla Rose is that good in the ring in general. I honestly don't. Just kind of what I'm seeing. I'm like a lot of people, Rio did carry that match against her. And I'm not going to go into the whole he, she, or whatever the fuck Nyla Rose is. I'm not going to go into that. I think I've said my piece on that enough. So I'm just going to try not to get into that whole situation, okay? But next thing you know, they talked about Dustin Rhodes, who will be out for 3 to 4 weeks with a fracture on his forearm. Allie, who was being interviewed by Tony Schiavone, finally made it off of Dark, folks. She made it off Dark and finally made it back on to regular TV this time. I don't think she's been on one episode of AEW TV until now. They were talking about who she was number 4 in the rankings. I honestly don't know who this girl is beating because I do not watch excuse me. I don't really watch Dark like that, so I can't really tell you what is going on with that whole thing. But as she was talking with Schiavone, everything, you know, the lights start flicking off and going dark. Next thing you know, Awesome Kong shows up with Brandy Rhodes. Allie tried to attack Kong, but Kong ended up taking her out. Then pretty much, Brandy cutting off a lock of her hair and give it to Allie's hair, and pretty much giving it as a trophy to Awesome Kong, which he attached it to her gear, I believe. Listen, I want to see Awesome Kong wrestle. I'm all for that. Awesome Kong and Brandy. I don't understand this whole Disney dark, villain, Disney villain, Maleficent, whatever the fuck's going on with that. I don't know what Brandy is, or some vampire thing. Strange gimmick. I don't know where it's going. I honestly don't. As long as Brandy's not in the ring, I guess I won't mind that much, because this girl cannot wrestle to save her fucking life. But we'll see where this goes with her, with this whole Brandy thing. But next thing you know, probably the best segment after the entire night, Chris Jericho coming out, talking about he's still the AEW World Champion. He proved what he was going to do. He's the greatest of all time, and he wanted to thank you from here and every single person in the office, from the roster to the back office to the front office to the side office, every office he wanted to thank you. And he says, we all want to thank you, but I don't want to hear from you jackasses in Nashville. I want to hear from the Bucks. I want to hear from Kenny Omega, and I importantly want to hear from Cody Rhodes, as he said. And that Cody's just an entitled millennial son of a bitch. Next thing you know, the lights go out. Cody's elaborate entrance looked like it was about to happen. But who do you expect to show up? Which I expected, MJF. MJF shows up to Cody's music with the whole pyro and all stuff. He said, cut the music then. Fans trying to asshole at him. And he says he'll get to Jericho in a bit, but he wanted to talk about something off his chest. He talked about the crowd. You're all mad at me because I threw a towel in and everything. Listen, his career would have been over if it wasn't for me, okay? And he accused Cody. He's the real villain, all right? He's the real villain. And he says that Cody could give a shit about you, any of you guys out here. That Cody only cares about himself. You can't trust him. He's a liar. He's a sociopath. Because he's the only one that now knows the real Cody. He says he tried to take me under his wing, as he said, but he wanted to put me under his thumb. And Cody's thumb wasn't big enough to hold him down, because he thought it was bullshit what was going on and stuff. And he said that, he is the new face of AEW. And he is the new face of AEW, and that he told Cody he's better than him and he knows it. But then he went to Chris Jericho then, pretty much saying like he's a big fan. could be on the third, fourth installment of Mount Rushmore. I started arguing back. It's funny. I thought this was hilarious where this was going on, because it says, you want to join in your circle? I thought you wanted me to join your circle. You want to join in your circle? But you wanted me to join in your circle. You want to join in your circle? And then it said stop. And MJF pretty much says, I want to kind of join your circle jerk there. It's fucking funny. Circle jerk. And told Jericho, I know you partake a little bit of the bubbly, but you may taking it too much now, because you think I guess you need me. And Jericho said, you know what? I like you, okay? Listen, you must want to be like Chris Jericho, because he says, I think your mom and dad must have got, horny and everything when I was beating up Juventud Guerrero 25 years ago on WCW Saturday Night, and the fans just went nuts for that when he said that. I thought that was hilarious. They pretty much says, so you want to be in the inner circle? I want to be in there. So you want to be in the inner circle? You want me to be in the inner circle? You want to be in there? He said, stop it. Okay? Because I like what Jericho called him too. He said, first off, this dude, MJF called him crisscross applesauce, and Jericho called MJF, all right, Maxwell seashells by the seashore. Surprised I actually said that. But I thought that was funny. And then they started out, who's the biggest jackass? You want to see the jackass? I'll see the biggest jackass. You want to know? Huh? And they both said at the same time, Cody pretty much is the biggest jackass, as they both hugged each other. And then after that, but pretty much then after that, Cody, it came out then, which the AEW officials was coming to him and blocking him because of his whole injury, and unfortunately that scar on his head too. But he ended up charging the ring. He started taking out both Jericho and MJF for a minute until, I guess, the debut of Wardlow, I think. So I'm sure people are wondering, who is this big guy in a suit? Wardlow. And he pretty much took Cody and he took his tie, wrapped it around his neck, and threw him over the top rope as he choked him, and MJF yelled. My question is, I'm sure a lot of people have said, my friend brought this up to me tonight about inconsistencies and everything. Why is it the Elite out there to come help Cody, or have these guys don't come out to help each other in, the coming weeks? Because it's almost like they're there when it's time, but it's like, okay, Cody's going out there almost in a 3-on-1 situation. I'm like, where are the Bucks? Where's Hangman? I know Kenny wasn't there, but where were the Bucks and Hangman, huh? Why didn't they come make the save? And I know Dustin was out too, but where was the save? Why didn't no one come to help Cody and everything? I thought that didn't make a lot of sense, if you ask me. I don't know about Wardlow when they said, well, we've been playing multiple video packages for months. Man, y'all played that shit one time on TV. I remember. I didn't see no other commercial, unless you go look on their YouTube, maybe, or Being the Elite or some shit, or whatever road thing with AEW, but I saw nothing on this Wardlow guy but one video. I saw only seen one video on the dude, so I don't know much about him. He's just a big dude in a suit, but I guess we'll see what comes from that, though. But overall, this is probably the best segment of the night. Just a fucking hilarious promo by both Jericho and MJF. It was fucking gold out there. Gold, I tell you. Next, Hangman Page went against Pac. Again, surprisingly. Which, I don't mind this match. I thought this was another very good match in general, and I thought it was fun. Pac ended up getting the win, kicking Hangman in the head, doing a pump kick, but then when Hangman fell, he started stomping on his head. The ref was trying to stop it, but he ended up hitting a Black Arrow and a Brutalizer for the win. But it was another great match, but once again, 50-50 booking. Why is this match happening again, though? I thought it would have been done after Full Gear, but I guess they played it again in general. But it was still a fun match, though, overall, okay? Next, there was a brawl in the back then as the Young Bucks and Santana Ortiz, LAX there pretty much started brawling with each other. Santana jumped off a forklift and they started brawling. I thought this was funny. I know it's not gonna be everybody's cup of tea, but Santana ended up throwing Nick Jackson into the door, and then next thing you know, the door opens. Orange Cassidy's sitting in the closet or the bathroom, chilling in the cut, just standing there. Santana's like, hey, I'm just gonna close the door. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm gonna close the door. And I'm gonna act like I didn't see nothing. Okay. So I thought Orange Cassidy just chilling there. He was just chilling. Don't even know why. He was just happened to be there. Okay. But I guess as the commercials went on, which I didn't like that during the brawl, because I think we need to see all of it all the way, because when it came back from commercial. They ended up back pretty much out there at the stage. They started brawling with each other again. But LAX pretty much got the upper hand of the Young Bucks as they took a sock and, whatever was in it, like a baseball or something. Started on beating Nick Jackson's leg then, hooking it to the stage. But then next thing you know, they said, okay, let's get Matt next. They ended up doing the same thing like they did to Ricky Morton last week or two ago and powerbombed him through the stage, taking him out. Matt Jackson. He said, these boys are going to die. All right, Matt's next. He's going to die. So they go back after Nick, but Brandon Cutler ended up breaking it up. LAX were about to leave, but I like how Ortiz says, hey, Brandon, we lied. And it's really funny how they were talking, just saying that. But as they were beating up them, then Private Party actually came out there, and the security had held back both teams and stuff. Security was just holding them back until, they helped the Young Bucks up and walked them out of there. But then literally right after this segment, not giving it any time to breathe, which in a way you could have announced this later in the night, but literally after that segment ended, it ended up with being Private Party versus Santana and Ortiz next week. So no time to build. It's just on like they had that graphic ready immediately when it was time to go. Okay, so they had that going on. I know one thing I guess also, I know they said, I know it's been a story over the week and everything, because I know they said that Private Party was supposed to be, I guess, dedicating the match to their mentor friend of House of Glory, Matt Travis. Very sad story. I don't know a lot about House of Glory that much or anything, only but a few things, but that's a very sad and fucked up story though. So yeah, rest in peace, Matt Travis. I may not know, but just sad shit though. But yeah, LAX getting upper hands though. But we then went to the main event of the tag team titles on the line. SCU came out and did their promo. They went against Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara for the tag titles. Not a bad match or anything. I know they said it was going to get a 60-time limit. We only got 10 minutes left in the show. I'm not trying to watch this show on YouTube right after if that was going to be the case. Because obviously you would expect to say Justin Roberts say TV time, but I guess they wanted to go with this longer. But it ended up with, surprisingly, Scorpio Sky, who won the way he won the tag titles with a roll-up on Chris Jericho. So this is giving him a title shot now. I don't know, but I was very surprised that he pinned Jericho in the middle of the ring right there clean by a roll-up. I'm sure a lot of people were shocked too. And listen, I've said this before about Scorpio Sky. I do believe he has the potential to become a breakout star. This whole SCU thing, I'm still going by that. I really am. I still believe he'll fight the title one day. I don't know when, but he has potential to be a breakout star. But yes, excuse me. But yes, pretty much, yeah, they roll up Jericho. Jericho's pissed off then after that. He pretty much started having a tantrum, throwing chairs around, hitting the guard post, hitting the ring post, all of that after Scorpio Sky got the roll up on Chris Jericho. Wasn't a bad tag match or anything, but I guess this gives Chris Jericho his first loss now in AEW. Technically a tag team, not singles, but I guess they're counting that possibly too. So I don't know. But, I thought this was a really great episode of AEW. A lot of things going on from the Luchasarus return, from the MJF and Jericho promo, the LAX and, the LAX and Young Bucks brawl, too, was pretty good, too. So, Mox's open challenge and everything. Really good show tonight. Very great show, I should say, in general, for Impact. AEW. Okay, get my names mixed up around here. But just another great show for Dynamite tonight. Before I get out, I will say one thing before I go. I know people have been talking about this all day, but rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero, man. It's been 14 years since his death, man. It's been a long time, man. I will say that. It's low-key crazy, too, man. I'll never forget it. Still remember it like it was yesterday. But yeah, though, man. Like I said, man, I can go on the whole thing, about Eddie and everything, man. Just from matches and I tell you, man, it was a huge loss that day. I tell you, man. I found out when I saw it on TV. Saw a tribute show. Didn't really believe him when I saw it though. I still remember that day, and I can go from matches, with Kurt Angle to Benoit to Mysterio to Edge to JBL. Countless guys that go down and listen him win the WWE title, everything. It's a lot you could really say from that timeline. But yeah, I just want to say that, man, 14 years, that's crazy, man. And still remember that day, I'm telling you what. So yeah, man, orale, viva la raza, Latino heat. But other than that, just comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought about AEW Dynamite tonight. A lot of things going on in the show. Very big show. So tell me what you thought about this show. Comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. What did you like about Dynamite tonight? What did you not like or not like about Dynamite tonight? Honestly, this was a very stacked show on here tonight. So just a lot of things going on tonight. Just really interesting and just great. All right, I will say that. But other than that, I am done with this review. We will be back with an NXT review. I'm gonna say I'm gonna probably do an NXT review tomorrow because I had to watch both shows back to back. But I think I'll do an NXT tomorrow. I want a little bit more, which I'm awake right now, but I think I'm just gonna wait tomorrow and I'm gonna do it. So just go back to back with videos tonight and just do the next one tomorrow. But other than that, though, I'll see you guys later. I'm out of here. Peace out.